Hey, it's Wednesday, and today is actually a special bonus edition of Widower Wednesday. I'm Abel Keogh, author of the book Dating a Widower, and today we're going to review Rebecca, the new movie on Netflix, and we're going to review it from the perspective of a remarried widower and spoiler free. This is a spoiler free review. I'm reviewing this because it's come up on my Facebook group and in a couple of emails. People have asked, well, should I watch this email? Is it going to trigger me? Is it going to trigger the widower? Should I watch this should I watch this new Netflix movie? And I got enough requests that I said, you know what, I'm going to watch this Netflix movie, and I'll let you know. So last weekend, Marathon Girl and I, or Julie and I, we sat down and watched the movie together. And here are my thoughts on it. Again, this is the movie Rebecca from the perspective of a remarried widower. So for those who don't know what the movie is about, it is about a young woman who is never named in the movie who strikes up a whirlwind romance with a wealthy man who's been widowed for less than a year. Yeah, you can see the red flags already, can't you? Anyway, she swept away. She swept off her feet from her little mundane life, and she goes to live with him in his lavish estate, Manderley, as his new wife. Now, there are lots of issues I think that you might be able to relate to. Hopefully, you don't relate to all of the issues, but I think there are issues, and I think they're done fairly well when it comes to dating and marrying a widower. For example, when they're dating, he doesn't talk about his late wife. She's kind of this mysterious figure. He doesn't talk about how she died or anything. So she's dating this guy and doesn't kind of really know a lot about him. I see that a lot. When they get married and they go to his home in England, this big estate in England, she finds that she's living in the shadow of the late wife Rebecca, because she feels pressured to do things, the way that the way or do things that the late wife did. There's a scene where she's kind of pressured to hold this big ball, and there's stuff, there's drama and stuff that goes on there. But she goes into this house and it's full of Rebecca's things. There's like special rooms, like this is Rebecca's room or this was their room, and even though they have their own bedroom and stuff, there's like this special room where it's like full of Rebecca's things. I mean, how many times have you walked into a widower's house and her things are everywhere? There's torchbearers, there's servants and friends and family members who have nothing but wonderful and good things to say about Rebecca, how beautiful she was, how perfect she was, how she was the most wonderful person any of them have ever met. Sound familiar? And then there's people, including her husband, who don't give a lot of details about how Rebecca died or their life together. So she's kind of forced to piece some stuff together. Now, I think if you're dating or married to a widower, you can probably relate to at least one of these issues. Hopefully, not all of the issues. If you're relating to all of these issues, might be a good time to maybe reevaluate the relationship if you have that many issues that you're worried about. I know this is kind of extreme. Again, usually when I talk to people, there's usually one or two of these things they worry about, but not all of them. But again, this is a movie, so we're going to just pretend this is like the most ultimate extreme example that you can come up with when marrying a widower. So the question is, should you watch this with your widower? Personally, I don't see a problem with it unless you're having relationship issues that are kind of related to the above, that this movie might make worse. I think it can trigger some good conversations, but if you're already having some relationship issues, and you think, for example, like if you're having issues about taking down pictures or things like that, and you watch this movie and you see how they handle, removing Rebecca's things or something like that, might maybe cause more conflict. So use your best judgment. Personally, I think that the widower issues are realistic, and the confusion and frustrated that the new wife and the widower portray are accurate and real. I felt like it was very well done in that sense. I mean, there was a few times even, when I joked with Julie about some of the issues, like saying, hey, remember when I had to put some stuff away, or remember when we felt pressured to do this thing after we were married. So I think, again, I think that the issues are realistic. Again, hopefully you're not facing all of them, but I think there's probably one or two that you can at least relate to on some degree. Hopefully not on the degree that the lady in the movie is relating them to. And so anyway, and if you're in a relationship with a widower, the ending, when you learn kind of about Rebecca and the truth about Rebecca, it can be in some ways probably fairly satisfying. So again, I'm not going to spoil anything, but you finally learn about who Rebecca is, and let's just say it's a little more realistic than maybe the angel that people are portraying out there. Anyway, I'm going to give this movie 2 reviews. First of all, 5 out of 5 stars for the way Rebecca handles and portrays dating and marrying widower issues. Again, even though they're all piled on top of each other, I think that the way that they're handled and the way that she reacts and he reacts to them seems to be pretty normal and typical and realistic. How about that? But 3.5 out of 5 stars for the movie itself. Again, I think it's a good movie. If you're looking for a movie to watch on Netflix, sure, go ahead and watch it. I just thought it lacked some of the suspense and maybe some of the emotion that it could have had outside of the widower issues. Okay, so again, this is kind of a test Widower Wednesday, a bonus Widower Wednesday video. I'll have a regular Widower Wednesday video next Wednesday. But if you'd like to see more reviews like this, the occasional bonus one about books, TV shows, movies, things like that deal with widower and widower related issues, give this video a like or leave a comment below, and we'll go from there. I'm Abel Keogh, author of the book Dating a Widower, and I'll see you next Wednesday.